That's not what I heard. But he knew that all along.
Hello, stranger. You must be hungry and thirsty. Perhaps I can interest you in my wares.
Wouldn't be so sure.
I was actually on my way to see the Paladins.
There's little chance of that. Since the Paladins made themselves at home in the upper end of town, hardly anyone gets in there anymore.
It's not what I heard.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
Me? Nah, I don't have much say here myself. There are a few people in the lower city who have enough influence to get you past the guards. Matteo, my boss, is one of them. Maybe you should talk to him.
Where can I find Matteo?
You're standing right outside his shop. Just go on in. He's practically always there.
It was just like you said.
What about the other influential citizens?
The merchants and master craftsmen here on the main street are the most important figures in the city. You should try to get accepted by one of them as an apprentice like me. Since I started working for Matteo, the people in the city treat me with respect.
My own opinion about that.
I need some money, and I'm looking for work.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
I'm not telling you anything new.
What do you have to offer?
At the moment, I don't have much choice. The damned landowner doesn't deliver anymore. And what we get from the small farms isn't enough to meet the demands of the city.
Tell me more about the Peasants' Revolt.
It's quite simple. Onar, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine, we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself. Normally, the city guard would take firm measures in such cases. But now comes the best part. They say Onar has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back. Mercenaries. The whole thing will end in a damn war, as if one war weren't enough.
He doesn't see that. I can't.
What do you know about Onar's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony. And their leader's supposed to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something, whom they put away as a traitor. These are terrible times.
Telling you anything new.
Show me your wares.
It's just like you said. That doesn't surprise me. Nobody ever asked for my opinion. I never knew that.
What can I do for you?
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in stock. Double hardened armor of snapper leather, still unused. Interested?
What do you know about Paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
The Paladins seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
What? What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
I don't see why I should even try.
You're probably right. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them that a ship full of orcs just anchored in the harbor, they'd send you away, because they have their orders.
So can you help me get into the upper quarter?
It seems to be really important to you. The question is, how important is it to you?
What are you getting at?
I can help you. After all, I'm one of the most influential people here, but it'll cost you.
What are you asking for your help?
100 gold pieces.
You shark.
Take it easy. It isn't your gold I have in mind.
But
In principle, it's my gold. Gritta, the carpenter's niece, hasn't paid what she owes me in ages. But the little brat is constantly running around in new clothes. That means she has the money. I'd like to beat it out of her. But Master Thorben, the carpenter, is also a very influential man. Get me the money and I'll help you.
Where can I find this Greta?
Like I said, she's the carpenter's niece. His house is down the street, the last house on the right before the smithy.
How exactly can you help me?
Quite simple. I'll use my influence to see to it that one of the master craftsmen here takes you on as an apprentice. As such, you'll practically be a citizen of the city and can enter the upper quarter. Besides which, you'll earn something while you're at it.
Where could I sign on as an apprentice then?
Basically, with any master here on the main street. That would be Harad the smith, Bosper the bowmaker, Thorben the carpenter, or Constantino the alchemist. One of them is bound to take you on. But it's important that the other masters agree. That's always been the custom here in Khorinis.
How do I get the approval of the other masters?
You just have to convince them. Go and talk to them. But if more than one of them is against you, you don't stand a chance, so behave yourself.
What do you want, stranger? If you've come to beg, I must disappoint you. I am a poor widow. My name is Greta. Ever since my husband died, I have been running the household for my uncle Thorben.
How's it going?
Same as always, but I don't want to complain.
Matteo sent me. You still owe him some gold.
He wants his money? What for? The goods he delivered were flawed, bad fabric, and bad seams. And did you look at the colors? Those are not the colors I ordered. That's fraud, that is. Let me tell you, back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband. Such a good man he was. Handsome, hardworking, a gentleman of the old school. We had it all. Wealth, happiness. Sometimes we were even invited to high society events. The festivities, all the beautiful clothes and hairdos. The fine dining and civilized conversations. Everything was better back then. No one would have dared to humiliate the heart of a poor widow with such ridiculous claims. Whatever shall I do? My pension is barely enough to make ends meet, and times are getting even rougher. One sees it everywhere. People must scrimp and save. It's been weeks since the last ship came to town. My husband was the captain of a merchant ship. Actually, he even owned the ship. From his long journeys, he always brought me presents. Exquisite fabrics from the mainland, precious spices from the southern countries. Most people haven't even heard of these things. But then, one day, I got the tidings that the Greta had sunk. That was the name of the ship. My husband called it that out of love for me. I wept and prayed that my husband had survived the disaster. Every day I hoped to hear from him, but all my longing was in vain. May Innes have mercy on his soul. May he rest in peace. Since that time, I have been living under these modest circumstances, and now this soulless, callous Matteo is after the last bit of my life savings. Please have mercy on a poor woman. Back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband.
Cut it out. Where's the gold?
But I don't have the gold. I'm only a poor widow.
Then we'll simply sell a few of your togs. I'm sure you've still got a bunch of stuff in your closet.
How dare you, uncouth lout. All right, here, take the gold.
See, that wasn't so hard.
And now will you please leave my house?
And Beliar spoke to another creature. But Adanos brought forth the tide, and the creature was washed from the face of the earth.
that.
Here's your 100 gold pieces.
And? Did she cause any problems?
None to speak of.
Good. You've held up your part of the deal.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
Don't worry. I'll keep my part of the bargain. The other masters will only hear the best about you from me.
Why don't you take me on as an apprentice?
I would, but the other masters wouldn't agree. I just recently took on another apprentice.
Is there another way to get into the upper quarter?
Perhaps. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
Show me your wares.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
Welcome to my shop, stranger. I am Bosper. I craft bows and trade in furs. What brings you to Khorinis?
I need to get into the upper quarter.
Where the paladins are? Forget it. You need to be a respected citizen here, or at least hold a decent job. As a stranger, you stand no chance of getting in.
I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago. Do you know anything about hunting then?
Well,
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
why did your apprentice give up his job?
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Corrigan's Tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
I want to start as your apprentice.
Before I take you on, I need to know, of course, whether you're any good at all.
What do you want me to do for you?
I will teach you how to skin an animal, and you will bring me, let's say, 6 wolf skins. Then I'll know that you have learned your trade. If it doesn't take you forever, and if the skins are in acceptable condition, I will take you on if you like.
Teach me how to skin animals.
Right. Listen, it's quite easy, really. You take a sharp blade and cut open the animal's belly. Then make a few small incisions on the inside of the legs, and you can peel off the skin. Bring me the wolf skins and we shall see.
Show me your wares.
Someone's gonna do the work.
That's the first time
That's typical, isn't it?
I've heard a thing or two.
These are bad times.
Really didn't deserve that.
These are bad times.
I've got my own opinion about that. I hardly know what to believe anymore.
I'm no better off myself.
Don't say you didn't know that.
And Beliar spoke to another creature. Animals brought forth.
Hey, you! How's it going?
You're not from around here, are you? Never mind, neither am I.
Where did you hang around before?
In the woods, hunting scavengers and wolves, together with some hunters. But I gave it up. These are dangerous times, There's a lot of riffraff running around out there.
Where can I find the other hunters?
We had our camp outside near the tavern halfway to Onar's farm, but I don't know whether there's anyone left in the camp now.
Bosper said you used to work for him.
Yes, I did, but he was only interested in his blasted hides. I told him how dangerous it's gotten out there. He didn't really listen to me. Well, anyway, he paid well. I can't complain about that.
Can you tell me anything else about him?
Bosper had one of his bows stolen recently in broad daylight. Some guy just waltzed into his store, took a bow, and left. The thieves are getting more and more brazen.
Can you teach me something about hunting?
I can teach you how to sneak properly and how to handle a bow.
Why don't we go hunting together?
With two, it isn't so dangerous, that's true. Do you know anything about hunting then? I mean, do you know how to skin an animal?
Yes.
All right, but I want to see 50 gold pieces. For that, you can keep the skins and sell them to Bosper. That's a fair deal, isn't it? Where then? You don't have the gold.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. The security measures for the protection of the upper quarter.
But the light was a torment for Beliar. All that Inos created was destroyed.
It can't go on like this forever.
Hey, you!
I'm not telling you
Show me.
anything new. That's the first I've heard of it. But no, he insisted he knew better. But he knew that all along. It's a bad business. I knew that would be a problem. That doesn't surprise me. But he knew that all along. Whatever changed.
This place, order and chaos were equal, and so the sea was created.
Hey! Why don't we go hunting together?
With two, it isn't so dangerous. Do you know anything? I mean, do you...
Yes.
All right, but I want to see... That's a fair...
Here they are. Let's go hunting.
All right, follow me. Outside the south gate is a wood where we should find more than enough critters. Probably more than we'd like.
And Beliar gave unto it a portion of his divine power, so that it might destroy the land.
See that? I can't help it.
But Enos
We can only wait and see. That doesn't surprise me. I can't believe that.
All right, so much for you, filthy beast.
be so sure.
Do you really believe? About the wolfskins, I've got them here.
Great. I knew you would be suitable for this job. Here's the pay I promised you. And what do you think? Isn't this better work than banging away at swords all day or filling little bottles in a dusty chamber?
What if I want to sign on with one of the other masters?
Balderdash. Harad and Matteo already have apprentices. Constantino the alchemist is a loner, and he hasn't taken an apprentice in years. And as for Thorben, everyone knows he's dead broke. He probably couldn't even pay you. I, on the other hand, am in urgent need of an apprentice, and I pay well too. But no matter where you want to sign on, you need the approval of all other masters from the lower part of town.
Will I get your approval to sign up with a different master?
I had hoped you would choose me, but if that's the way you want it.
Does that mean you'll vote for me?
If none of the other masters objects, yes. But you would certainly have made a good hunter.
I've heard a thing or two.
Hey, you!
Ah, fresh face. You're not from Khorinis, are you? This is not a good time for travelers. Bandits everywhere, no work, and now the farmers have risen up too. What winds have blown you here?
I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about carpentry?
The only thing I can make out of wood is a fire.
And what about locks?
Well...
I'm sorry, but I can't use you if you know nothing about my trade. And I have no money to pay for an apprentice. That's the first I've heard of it.
What if I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the other masters here?
All right, I shall give you my approval. But you had better get yourself the blessing of the gods first. Say, are you a man of faith?
Yes, a most humble servant. Master Thorben.
Then go to Vatras, the priest of Adanos, and have him give you his blessing. He will tell you where you can find a priest of Innos. You should get his blessing too. Once you have received the blessing of the gods, I shall vote for you.
There, where Adanos stood, was a place in which Enos and Beliar had no power. Adanos be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adanos, the guardian of the divine and earthly equilibrium. What can I do for you?
I'm asking your blessing.
Why should I give you my blessing, stranger?
I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the masters in the lower part of town.
I may give you my blessing, stranger, but I know nothing about you. Tell me about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Well, you could tell me where you come from and why you have come to the city.
I carry an important message for the leader of the Paladins.
What is this message?
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons and determined to conquer the country.
Dragons? You speak of beings which until now have only been mentioned in legends. How do you know this?
No, I heard rumors somewhere.
Aha! And that is why you have made this journey. Who are you really?
I'm an adventurer from down south. And will you give me your blessing now?
Good. Let us summarize. You are an adventurer from down south who heard rumors that dragons have come to conquer the country. And you have come to report this to the Paladins. I think there's something you're not telling me. If you're worried I might pass on what you tell me, then let me reassure you. I have sworn to keep all secrets I am entrusted with to myself.
And what about all the people here?
They only understand half of what I preach to them, so don't fret. Let's start over at the beginning. What's that message?
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons and determined to conquer the country.
If that is indeed true, the balance of the earth will be disturbed. Who told you this?
Zardas, the magician, told me. He sent me to warn the paladins.
The necromancer. So he lives, and he sent you. Who are you really?
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Khorinis. And will you give me your blessing now?
Good. Let us summarize. You are a former prisoner who has been told by Zardas, the necromancer, that dragons have come to conquer the country. And you have come to report this to the paladins. That all sounds rather fantastic, but I cannot perceive that you are lying to me. Therefore, I must assume that your motives are honorable. Go with the blessing of Adanos, my son.
Where can I find a priest of Innos?
The best thing would be to look around the marketplace. You will find an emissary of the monastery there.
Can you teach me something about magic?
Only the chosen of Innos and the chosen of Adanos are permitted to work rune magic. But common mortals can also work magic with the help of spell scrolls. I can show you how you can channel and expand your magic powers.
What can I do for you? Are you seeking spiritual comfort? Do you want to direct a prayer to our Lord Innos, or donate some gold for his church?
I've come to get your blessing.
That's good. That's good. Then you will probably want to donate gold to the Holy Church of Innos, won't you?
Actually, I wanted your blessing so I can sign on as an apprentice in the lower part of town.
But my son, without a modest donation to the church, it is impossible for me to bless you. How else can I be certain of your good intentions toward the Holy Church of Innos?
So, how much does a donation usually run to here?
Well, that depends on what percentage you want to give, son. Let me see how much you brought. You have more than 100 gold pieces. The Lord says give if you have. The church accepts your generous donation. I bless you in the name of Innos, for he is light and righteousness.
And the sea released the land, and there arose all creatures, trees as well as animals.
You really believe that? Really didn't deserve that.
How about your approval, Master?
Has Vatras given you his blessing?
Yes.
And did you also get the blessing of a priest of Innos?
Yes, I did.
Then you shall have my blessing as well. No matter what path you decide to take pride in doing a good job, my boy. It was quite obvious.
So, you know a lot about locks.
What good is a fine chest without a fine lock? I make my own locks. That way, I can at least be sure I haven't built my chest that sturdy for nothing. A poorly made lock is easy to break, and there are plenty of thieves about in Khorinis, especially lately.
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
You have paid Gritta's debt with Matteo. You seem to be a decent fellow. I shall teach you what you want to know. However, I cannot do it for free. I still have a mountain of debts, and I need the money.
How much do you charge?
200 gold pieces.
Maybe later. Can you sell me some lockpicks?
Well, all right, but they won't be of any use to you as long as you don't know how they work.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
What do you know about the Paladins?
Not much. They arrived by ship 2 weeks ago from the mainland. Since then, they have withdrawn to the upper end of town. Nobody here really knows exactly why they have come. Many are afraid of an attack by the orcs. I suppose, however, that they are here to quell the farmers' rebellion.
Do you know anything about the Peasants' Rebellion?
Rumor has it that Onar, the landowner, has hired mercenaries to keep the king's troops from breathing down his neck. He was probably tired of having to throw his harvest along with his livestock at paladins and militia. All we notice of this in town is that the food prices keep rising. Onar's farm lies far to the east of here. We wouldn't know if there's any fighting going on there. And if you want to know more, ask the merchants in the marketplace. They get around the island more than I do.
Animals feared for the day in which the beast would return to the land.
What do you want? There's nothing to be had here for free, and I'm not gonna sell you anything either.
I'm looking to become an apprentice.
Really? And with whom are you gonna sign up?
I want to sign up with you as an apprentice.
With me? No! I have already had the dubious pleasure once of grappling with an apprentice. That's quite enough for me. I invested several years in his education, and in the end, the poor fool up and poisoned himself. Go sign up with one of the other masters.
What will I have to do to become your apprentice?
I couldn't bear yet another dilettante on my conscience. There is a multitude of herbs out there. Used in different variations, they develop the most diverse effects. You probably don't even know half of them. Here. This is a list of the most important plants. Bring me a plant of each kind, and I might reconsider taking you in as an apprentice.
And the sea released the land, and there arose
Hey you, I have a proposition for you.
What do you want?
I want my old stall in the marketplace back. Sarah snatched it away from me, but she has had that spot long enough. I want her to give up the stall.
And what's my part in this?
I will give you a letter to stick in her pocket. Then you go to Andre and tell him that Sarah is selling weapons to Onar. She lands in prison, you pocket the bounty, and I get the stall. You have 2 days to accomplish this.
What's in it for me?
When I have the stall, you will get a weapon from me, and a damned good one.
No, I want no part of this.
That was the wrong decision, boy. We shall speak again.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
How's business?
When the Paladins came, I first thought that it was a good business opportunity, but they let Harad make their weapons, and neither Hakon nor I make even one gold piece off them. Moreover, the farmers no longer supply us with food, and all the prices have gone up. It's only a small consolation that the Paladins are paying my hotel bill.
What's the problem with the farmers?
They refuse to deliver their goods. Now that the ships no longer come in, the city depends entirely on the supplies provided by the farmers, of course. And Onar, the largest farmer, has hired mercenaries to protect his farm from the city guards. Otherwise, they'd simply snatch the goods for themselves. But the mercenaries don't just guard Onar's farm. They come as far as the small farms outside of town to intimidate the farmers. I saw them as I was passing Akil's farm. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes now.
Where will I find Akil's farm?
If you go out of the east gate here and follow the road to the right, you'll come to a stairway. It leads up to Akil's farm, but I wouldn't go there now. The mercenaries are certainly still there.
Show me your wares.
I'm Zurus, Master of Potions. Do you need an essence of healing or a magic elixir? Then you've come to the right place.
Do you brew your own potions?
No, I either get them from the monastery or I buy them from Constantino, the alchemist. If you're interested in brewing potions, then talk to him. He needs an assistant. But he's too pig-headed to hire someone himself. He's just as stubborn as a mule. He always passes me when he goes out on the east gate to collect plants for his potions.
Where exactly does Constantino gather his herbs?
He always goes through the eastern city gate here and then disappears into the wilderness to the left. He once told me that just about everything grows there, except for King Sorrel.
Has Constantino ever told you where to find King Sorrel?
I once heard him say that the stuff grows near stone circles. Near Lobart's farm. That's a farm near the other gate. There's one of those stone circles. I think it's on a hill. It used to be a grave or something.
Due to the general situation, the forest and wilderness furthermore.
Ah, customer, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for a room.
Ah, you're in the right place then.
One of the paladins told me that I could spend the night here for free.
Yes, yes. Just go up the stairs. We still have 1 or 2 beds free.
Why do the paladins pay for everything?
I don't know what that's all about either. For one thing, I think they want to get all the poor suckers off the streets so they don't make any mischief. And for another, they want to get on the good side of the traveling traders. Now that the farmers are rebelling, we have to rely on the traders for provisions. Besides, I think they want to improve the morale in the city a bit. Lord Andre has even arranged for free beer to be given out at the Gala Square.
Tell this to anyone.
You don't say.
Someone's gonna do the work.
Another one of those things.
Come here, you filthy beast.
All right, so much for you, filthy beast.
Hey, not so fast. Strolling about alone out here is dangerous. Where do you come from?
From the city.
Well. Then what are you doing wandering around out here, so far from the protective walls of the city?
That's not what my husband thinks.
What's so dangerous out here?
Many things. For one thing, there's the bandits. They'd polish off a little wimp like you for breakfast. If the bandits don't catch you, then the wild animals in the forest or the mercenaries roaming around will take care of you. So, first get yourself some decent armor before you go out. I bet you'll be yelling for my help after the next bend in the road.
Someone's gonna take a look. Now that's typical, isn't it? Honestly, I witnessed it myself. That's an open secret. He simply talks too much. I don't believe that.
Yes!
Who says things like that?
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Show me your wares.
These are bad times.
He simply talks too much.
That's not what my husband thinks.
That's not what my husband thinks.
Been there, done that.
But Enos beheld what Beliar had done, and he also bestrode the land and chose the human. And Enos spoke to him, and the human...
It's a bad business.
We can only wait and see. hardly know what to believe anymore.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
So why won't they listen to me?
About the plants,
If you cannot handle that by yourself, you won't be any good as an alchemist either.
I see.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
And it's going to get even worse. I'll tell her thing. I can't take care of everything for everybody. And he wants all the attention.
tell this to anyone. That's what I've always said.
Someone's got to do the work.
These are bad times.
That's an open secret.
And Enos, in his wisdom, did so.
Hey, you!
New in the city, huh? I'm Brian. I'm Master Harad's apprentice.
What's it like to be the smith's apprentice?
Why do you ask? You want to be my successor?
Maybe.
Why not? I'm almost done with my apprenticeship, and then I'm gonna leave the city. But not because of Harad. He is a good master. I've learned a lot from him.
Why do you want to leave this town?
Because the people here are getting on my nerves above all the other masters. I still remember what a fuss it was getting accepted as an apprentice with Harad. Really, every one of them jokers had something to say about it. I want to decide for myself who I can or can't take as an apprentice.
Who are the other masters?
Well, there's Thorben the carpenter, Bosper the bowmaker, Constantino the alchemist, and Matteo. He sells armor, but first of all, he's a merchant. All the masters have their houses here on the street, and Constantino's shop is in the underpass to the temple.
Tell me more about Master Harad.
He's not in a very good mood right now. A few days ago, the paladins came and ordered him to forge some swords for them. They've even forbidden him to sell swords to anyone else. Now he slaves day and night to finish the job as quickly as possible.
Can I buy weapons from you?
Not really, I'm merely an assistant. The weapons that are made in this smithy are collected by the militia and taken to the towers where they're stored. But if it has anything to do with forging, maybe I can help you.
What can I get from you?
I can sell you some steel billets.
Hey, you! I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. Brian will have finished his apprenticeship soon, and then he'll leave the city. Are you good for anything?
If you mean, do I know blacksmith's work?
No, that's not what I meant. Sooner or later, the orcs are going to lay siege to the city, and then the only men who will count will be those who are in a position to defend our city. And I won't take on anyone as an apprentice who will disgrace me by fleeing the city with the women and the good-for-nothings, instead of holding the fort here with the men.
I'm not a good-for-nothing.
Those are big words. Can you back them up with big deeds?
What are you getting at?
Bring me an orc's weapon. Orcs have been seen near the city. With a bit of luck, you won't have to search for long. If you manage to bring one down, I'll take you on as an apprentice, provided the other masters agree.
I've got the orc weapon you wanted.
Show me. It's been a while since I've had a weapon like this in my hands. I was a soldier back in the Orc War. Those were tough times, I can tell you. I didn't think you could do it. I'm impressed.
Can I sign on as an apprentice with a different master?
You're a good man. I'll give you my approval. Brian will still be here for a while, and a strong lad to take his place will turn up in time.
Do you sell weapons too?
Forget it. Everything I make goes to the paladins or the militia. I have a commission for 100 swords from Lord Hagen. He wants to equip the city guard.
Hey! About the plants.
If you cannot handle that by yourself, you won't be any good as an alchemist either.
I've got all the plants I was supposed to bring you.
What? You're pulling my leg, right? By Adanos. It's all there, all right. Who knows? Maybe someday you could make a decent alchemist after all.
I want to sign up with one of the other masters.
You have come to ask my approval? As far as I'm concerned, you can sign up with whoever you like.
Can I become your apprentice now?
As far as I'm concerned, yes. All that matters to Harad is that you will be able to defend the city if it is attacked by orcs. And it looks like you've got him convinced of that. Bosper has been quite reluctant to comment on your qualities. I suppose he would like to take you on as an apprentice himself. But he still agreed in the end. Thorben is a very religious man. He has given you his blessing. That is a good sign. As for Matteo, he's singing your praises high and low. This means you have the approval of all the masters. Are you ready to begin your apprenticeship with me?
Yes, Master.
Oh, all right then. I hope I'm not going to regret this decision. From this moment, you may consider yourself my apprentice.
What are my tasks?
I realize that I cannot expect a young man to spend all day indoors with me. From time to time, you shall bring me the plants I need. In return, I shall instruct you in the art of alchemy. You can buy the bottles from me. Most of the ingredients, however, you will have to get for yourself. And I expect you to behave properly as a citizen of this town.
What plants am I supposed to bring?
I shall buy everything you bring to me, and I'll pay the usual price. For mushrooms, however, I shall pay you a special price.
You wanted mushrooms? Why are those things so important?
Even though you are my apprentice, I won't tell you everything.
I've got a few murky mushrooms here.
Ah, those are the best. Well done. Here's your gold.
And here are some of the others.
These are not quite as good as murky mushrooms, but I'll take them anyway.
Instruct me in the art of alchemy.
All right, basics first. Each potion is made of plants. They possess all kinds of powers. They do nothing but put all their power into growth. And modifying this power is what the art of alchemy is all about. To prepare a potion at the alchemist's bench, you need a laboratory flask. You need to know the correct formulation and have the appropriate ingredients. There are quite a few formulations I could teach you. Potions which restore your lost strength, and even potions which affect your strength permanently. You cannot learn everything at once.
What recipes can you teach me?
I know a few. Make your own choice.
Show me your wares.